Only on Eyewitness News, it's the most common form of dementia that robs a person of their memory and dignity. Every 66 seconds, someone in this country develops Alzheimer's, and there is no cure.
And for the Rianna family of Smithfield, receiving a diagnosis of Alzheimer's was life-changing. But they hope by telling their story tonight will help others deal with the heartbreaking disease.
To be honest with you, I miss her like crazy. I really do miss her like crazy.
Time does not heal all wounds, and for families like the Riannas, watching their beloved wife and mother slip away because of Alzheimer's was heartbreaking. Irene Rianna was only 55 when she was officially diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, an uncommon form of dementia that strikes people younger than 65. According to researchers at the Mayo Clinic, early onset is genetic, and those who are diagnosed with it are likely to have a parent or grandparent who developed the disease at an earlier age. More than 5 million Americans have Alzheimer's. 5% of them, like Irene, are under 65.
And the most difficult part of this for me was when she would look at me with those eyes and she would ask me, "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I know there's something wrong with me. Ken, help me." And I couldn't help her.
Irene passed away 2 years ago at 62. Her husband, Ken, whose mother also lost her battle with Alzheimer's shortly before Irene was diagnosed, told me simple things became difficult.
A fantastic cook would forget how to make simple things like pasta. And I would come home from work and I would find the car in the garage, but the door's wide open. And I would ask her, "Irene, when did you get home?" "No, I've been home for a couple of hours."
Irene's illness was especially difficult for her 2 daughters and son, who sometimes felt guilty and helpless.
Because you know it's your mom, and you know that she's ill, but she's your mom, and she's supposed to know how to do everyday things. So I would get frustrated, and I look back and feel bad about the times that I did get frustrated because it wasn't her fault, it was the disease.
It was really hard to watch Dad not be able to fix this, because dads fix things all the time, and that's what our dad always did. We lost a piece of my dad when we lost my mom, so that's definitely been a little difficult.
The Riannas are hoping to make a difference by establishing the Irene Y. Rianna Foundation, established not only to keep her memory alive, but raise money for a scholarship fund at Smithfield High School and to help families care for a loved one at home.
We would like to help them bring in, even if it's for a weekend, some relief, and pay that caregiver to take care of their loved one in Irene's name. All of this in Irene's name.
Because giving back is what Irene would have wanted.
I'm looking forward to the day when I see her again, and my faith tells me I will.
They're a wonderful family. Now, families like the Riannas are looking for answers. So coming up in Eyewitness News at 6, we hear from a local doctor who tells us groundbreaking research is being done in Rhode Island. And please join us for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's this Sunday morning at Roger Williams Park in Providence. Registration will begin at 8. The ceremony's at 9:30. WPRI 12 and Fox Providence are proud sponsors of the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Tonight, Fighting Alzheimer's. On Eyewitness News Live at 5, we introduced you to a Smithfield family who lost a loved one to the heartbreaking disease.
And new at 6, we're talking to one of the local authors of a study on a promising new antibody therapy that's demonstrated the ability to slow cognitive decline in a clinical trial.
And while these kind of advances are key, getting people to volunteer for research is also essential in the fight against Alzheimer's, a life-altering battle for thousands of families here in Rhode Island.
The most difficult part of this for me was when she would look at me with those eyes and she would ask me, "What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I know there's something wrong with me. Ken, help me." And I couldn't help her.
On Eyewitness News Live at 5, we introduced you to the Rianna family, whose wife, mother, and grandmother Irene lost her fight with Alzheimer's at the age of 62. For families, the fight against Alzheimer's feels like a losing battle. But researchers like Dr. Stephen Salloway at Butler Hospital say it's vital we make serious gains.
Alzheimer's is probably one of our biggest public health problems. And as the population ages, we need to find ways to lower the risk and slow the progression of the disease.
Right now, more than 5 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, including 23,000 in Rhode Island. By 2025, that number will jump 40% to more than 7 million nationwide. Also known as the caregiver's disease, more than 15 million caregivers provide an estimated 18 billion hours of unpaid care.
As far as watching Dad go through this, it tore us to pieces. We were losing our mother and watching our father crumble at the same time.
And the cost of caring for patients comes with a price tag of $236 billion. While there is no cure, Dr. Soloway says we've entered the era of Alzheimer's prevention.
We're doing a number of studies that people may be eligible for. They're primarily in the age range of 60 to 85, and people have to have normal memory. They can have concerns about their memory, but they test normally. And then we determine either through a genetic test or a PET scan to see if they're at risk for developing Alzheimer's down the road.
Soloway says Butler Hospital is part of a global confirmatory trial. He's hoping people with mild memory loss and early onset Alzheimer's may be eligible for this study.
We need the volunteers. We need the citizen army to step up to win the war against Alzheimer's.
Dr. Soloway says future treatment will be more manageable than it is today because doctors are going to intervene early to help lower the risk.
I think Alzheimer's will be much more manageable over time, and I'm hoping that we'll have our first breakthrough. I'm hoping that this result that we reported 2 weeks ago will be the first stage of a breakthrough for Alzheimer's.
Dr. Soloway says the combination of treatments is required to combat Alzheimer's, from new medication they're discovering to practical things like exercise, diet, and controlling risk factors for your heart. They're hoping to meet their goal by the year 2025. And please join us for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's going to be Sunday morning at Roger Williams Park in Providence. Registration is going to be at 8. The ceremonies at 9:30. WPRI 12 and Fox Providence are proud sponsors of the event.